10 Common Misconceptions about INFJs. 1. INFJs are always introverted and shy. The first and perhaps most pervasive misconception is that INFJs are always introverted and shy, avoiding social interactions at all costs. While it's true that INFJs are introverts, meaning they recharge by spending time alone, this doesn't mean they're shy or socially awkward. INFJs genuinely enjoy deep, meaningful conversations and can be very outgoing in the right contexts. What sets INFJs apart is that they prefer quality over quantity in their social interactions. They may appear reserved in large, superficial gatherings but come alive in intimate settings where they can engage in thoughtful discussions. INFJs also possess strong social skills and can be quite charismatic when they're passionate about a topic or cause. However, because their energy is drained by too much social interaction, they need time alone to recharge. This balance between introversion and social ability is what makes them such unique and versatile individuals. 2. INFJs are mysterious and impossible to understand. Another common belief is that INFJs are enigmatic and impossible to figure out. People often think they're hiding something or are difficult to get to know. The idea that INFJs are mysterious often stems from their complex inner worlds and their tendency to keep certain thoughts and feelings private. However, this doesn't mean they're intentionally secretive or trying to be difficult. INFJs are actually deeply introspective and spend a lot of time analyzing their emotions, thoughts, and experiences. This can lead to a rich inner life that isn't always visible on the surface. INFJs are more than willing to share their thoughts and feelings with those they trust. They seek deep connections and are usually open books with the people they feel close to. The mystery often comes from the fact that INFJs are highly selective about who they open up to, which can give the impression that they're hard to read. But in reality, INFJs value authenticity and honesty, and they crave being understood just as much as anyone else. 3. INFJs are always kind and gentle. INFJs are often seen as the gentle, nurturing type, always kind and considerate to everyone around them. While it's true that INFJs are generally empathetic and caring, this doesn't mean they are pushovers or that they never experience anger or frustration. INFJs have a strong sense of justice and are deeply passionate about their values. When these values are threatened or when they witness injustice, they can be incredibly fierce and assertive. INFJs are not afraid to stand up for what they believe in, and they can be surprisingly tough when the situation calls for it. They may appear gentle and kind most of the time, but their inner strength is a force to be reckoned with. This combination of empathy and determination makes them effective advocates for causes they care about. 4. INFJs are unrealistic dreamers. People often assume that because INFJs are idealistic, they are unrealistic dreamers who are out of touch with reality. While INFJs are indeed idealistic and have a vision for a better world, they are far from being naive or out of touch with reality. In fact, their idealism is often grounded in a deep understanding of how the world works, combined with a strong desire to make a positive impact. INFJs are strategic thinkers who are capable of turning their dreams into actionable plans. They are not content with merely fantasizing about a better world, they actively seek to create it. Whether through their careers, volunteer work, or personal relationships, INFJs work tirelessly to align their actions with their values. Their idealism is often tempered with a realistic understanding of the challenges ahead, making them both visionaries and pragmatic achievers. 5. INFJs are overly sensitive and fragile. Because of their deep empathy and emotional sensitivity, INFJs are sometimes seen as overly sensitive or emotionally fragile. It's true that INFJs are highly attuned to the emotions of others and can be deeply affected by negative environments or conflicts. However, this sensitivity should not be mistaken for weakness. In fact, many INFJs are incredibly resilient, using their emotional insight as a source of strength rather than a vulnerability. INFJs are often able to navigate complex emotional landscapes and provide support to others in difficult times. Their ability to understand and empathize with a wide range of emotions makes them strong, compassionate leaders and friends. Far from being fragile, INFJs often have a deep well of inner strength that allows them to persevere through challenges and help others do the same. 6. INFJs are perfectionists. Another common belief is that INFJs are perfectionists who are never satisfied with anything less than perfect. While many INFJs do have high standards and strive for excellence, they are not necessarily perfectionists in the traditional sense. INFJs value growth and progress over perfection, and they understand that mistakes and failures are a natural part of the learning process. Rather than being obsessed with achieving perfection, INFJs are often more concerned with staying true to their values and doing their best in any given situation. They are willing to accept imperfections in themselves and others as long as there is a genuine effort to improve and grow. This mindset allows them to be both driven and compassionate, balancing high expectations with understanding and empathy. 7. INFJs are cold and distant. Some people perceive INFJs as cold or distant, especially when they are in deep thought or when they withdraw to recharge. INFJs may sometimes appear distant, but this is usually a reflection of their need for introspection and solitude rather than a lack of warmth. When an INFJ withdraws, it's often because they are processing their emotions, recharging their energy, or thinking deeply about something important. Despite these occasional periods of withdrawal, INFJs are often warm, caring, and deeply compassionate in their interactions with others. They value close, meaningful relationships and are usually very supportive and attentive to the needs of those they care about. The key to understanding an INFJ's occasional distance is recognizing that it's a necessary part of their process, not a sign of coldness or indifference. 8. INFJs are hard to get to know. Many people believe that INFJs are difficult to get to know because they are so private and reserved. While it's true that INFJs are selective about who they open up to, they are not inherently difficult to get to know. INFJs crave deep, authentic connections and are often very open with people they trust. The challenge lies in building that trust, which can take time and patience. Once an INFJ feels comfortable with someone, they are often very forthcoming and transparent about their thoughts, feelings, and experiences. They may take a little longer to open up, but when they do, they form deep, lasting bonds with those who have earned their trust. The key to getting to know an INFJ is to approach them with sincerity, patience, and a genuine desire for meaningful connection. 9. INFJs are always happy and positive. Because INFJs are often seen as empathetic and caring, some people assume they are always happy and positive, radiating goodwill at all times. INFJs are just as susceptible to negative emotions as anyone else, and they experience the full range of human emotions, including sadness, anger, and frustration. Their empathy can make them especially sensitive to the pain and suffering of others, which can sometimes lead to emotional burnout or periods of melancholy. INFJs are often deeply introspective, which means they spend a lot of time reflecting on their own emotions and the state of the world. This introspection can lead to periods of sadness or even existential angst, especially when they feel that their ideals are not being realized. However, INFJs are also resilient and are usually able to find hope and meaning even in difficult times. Their positivity is often rooted in a deep sense of purpose and a commitment to making a positive difference, rather than in a superficial optimism. 10. INFJs are passive and avoid confrontation. The final misconception is that INFJs are passive and avoid confrontation at all costs, preferring to keep the peace rather than speak their minds. While INFJs do value harmony and often try to avoid unnecessary conflict, they are not afraid to stand up for their beliefs or confront issues when it's necessary. INFJs have a strong sense of justice and are deeply committed to their values. When they see something that goes against their principles, they can be surprisingly assertive and even confrontational. INFJs are not interested in conflict for the sake of conflict, but they are more than willing to engage in difficult conversations if it means protecting their values or advocating for others. Their approach to confrontation is often thoughtful and measured, focused on finding a resolution rather than simply winning an argument. This ability to balance empathy with assertiveness makes them effective leaders and advocates. INFJs are a complex and fascinating personality type, full of depth, empathy, and strength. By debunking these common misconceptions, we hope to provide a clearer understanding of what it truly means to be an INFJ. Whether you are an INFJ yourself or know someone who is, it's important to appreciate the unique qualities and perspectives that this personality type brings to the world.